Now, what God did, He used those four beasts, which identified the space shuttle, which had gone up on the brink of the earth. I didn't go completely through this, but I stopped right here to identify the white horse, the red horse, the black horse, and the pale horse. Listen to what it says in Revelation chapter 16. Using the four beasts, which he identified the space shuttle, which at the last was the calf, the lion, the man, and Eve. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts. He bring you using the four beasts, then you know this is tied with the United States of America, which was a creator and a manufacturer of the space shuttle. This is where he tied this with the United States of America. He tied this to the four beasts. He's used them as a parable, as a symbol, telling you that what these beasts was the one said, "Come and see." Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. The white horse would be Alexander the Great. He's telling you how it came after the foundation of the world. God had given dominion to Adam and Eve, as I spoke concerning this matter in Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 1. Adam and Eve was of the black race, but the white horse will tell you the characteristic, what came to pass, as in Genesis chapter 6, when the sons of God bare children unto the daughters of men, it created a dilution in the pigmentation, which by the lack of pigmentation of the human flesh, and it had became diluted, the genetic color code became a faded color code, which resembled in a white looking up skin. So this people never had dominion over the earth because he was not in the book of life. Book of life was closed. So he became angry and despised dominion, and he became a conqueror because his knowledge about him being a part of a product of angels, he became wise men in the sense of knowledge, created universities and manufactured different crafts, and he began to seduce the mindset of the peoples on the earth by a way of craftsmanship upon which he manufactured and created in his factories. As he began to conquest his conquest, let me read the second part here. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Well, the path from Alexander the Great led to the United States of President George W. Bush. Spoken, this become the prophecy of Job. Job 1 and Job 2. President George H.W. Bush was the father, which is consistent with Job 1, and President George W. Bush is Job 2. This is the red horse. President George H.W. Bush was a member of the CIA before he became president, because this is the horn with the little eyes. It's a family tree. So by President George W. Bush becoming the president of the United States of the earth, he was the one who went in and attacked Afghanistan and Iraq. It was a father and son duo, as was spoken of in Job chapter 1 and chapter 2. But Job 2 was when they was going to use nuclear weapons. The Red Horse, which was started by President George W. Bush, this was the trigger part of World War III. Now, we got another symbol there. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil and wine. Okay. So, black horse here lets you know that there's a black prophet because he didn't have no weapon of mass destruction. He was a man of justice. He was a watchman that God sent, a black prophet. And this will take you back to Ezekiel chapter 1, 2, where he told that black prophet what to say. He was a man of God, sent by God. This is lining the black prophet up with Ezekiel chapter 2. So, as a space shuttle, that was a space shuttle in Ezekiel chapter 2. Ezekiel chapter 1 was a space shuttle. Ezekiel chapter 2 was the prophet. So, this connect these beasts which identify the space shuttle with the space shuttle. And also the black prophet showed back up as a black horse. He told you the genetic color code of the adversary, the enemy, and he showed you the genetic color code of the black prophet, which is myself, Curly Brazil. Now, but he also tells you during the range of this black prophet that there's going to be a food shortage. A curse going to be on the land because of what the United States would do. That he's going to bring a curse up on the land, and the food chain is going to be disturbed after you see this black prophet. Right now, when you see all of these things that's taking place, and all of these, as Jesus spoke of in the book of Saint Matthew, chapter 14, I believe it is, when he's speaking concerning the fig tree blooming, he said, when you see all of these things come to pass here on earth, wars and rumors of wars, and the weather pattern changes, and the food change, you know, as the fig tree began to shoot, you know, this is getting ready for the coming of Jesus Christ. And this generation, when these things start happening, this generation will not pass away until they see the glory of God coming in His glory. In other words, the peoples of today, as we see and look at the news media today, all these, we will not die until we see Jesus Christ come in His glory. And as I spoke to you concerning this matter, before and now, I say I'm a modern day prophet sent by God, preparing the way for the return of Jesus Christ. What is that telling you? If there is a strong front wind, then there is a greater storm in the midst following the front wind. Because if the front wind is being pushed by the magnitude of the storm, if there is a light wind, then you know it may not be a storm, or it is going to be a small storm. But when you find a strong front wind coming in diligent, showing you these things day in and day out, showing you, trying to get you ready. This is a strong, telling you the time is at hand, the time of the return of Jesus at hand. This is a strong front wind. Day in and day out, you know there is a mighty storm that's following this prophet. This is God. Now, let's go to this part here. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked and beheld a pale horse, and his name that sat his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed at the pale horse. Hell is where the nuclear weapons is. Nuclear weapons will be used. This is where we at today. Hell followed after him. This is the CIA.